Sports Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about
Week 5 of the NFL season and the Major League Baseball playoffs are in full swing.
Please like and subscribe and share the video, and I'll give this podcast to my brother.
Well, the Major League Baseball playoffs are in full swing as the Chicago Cubs could not hold on to the NL Central lead as they lost to the Milwaukee Brewers, then lost a heartbreaker 2-1 in 13 innings in the wild card game to the Colorado Rockies. So the Cubs' run of 3 straight NLCS postseason appearances was intact, but 3 straight trips to the NLCS will not happen, and a repeat trip to the World Series will not happen either, as the Cubs looked exhausted. They looked exhausted on offense. Javier Baez saves the day for them by scoring that run in the 8th, by getting that double in the 8th inning. But the Cubs looked exhausted when they lost the division to Milwaukee, and they looked exhausted when they lost the wild card game to Colorado. It was exhausting. 13 innings, could not play to cross the winning run, and Colorado outlasting the Cubs. Rocktober will take place in Denver at Coors Field. Congratulations to the Colorado Rockies for advancing into October. And for the Cubs, what does this mean for them? I'm really not sure. I mean, I've already heard that Joe Madden will be back as Cubs manager next year, which was great. I really don't feel like the Cubs need to do much this year. I mean, they had a lot of injuries. Yu Darvish, their big prize, only won 1 game for them. I really feel like the Cubs, I mean, you're going to hear about Bryce Harper, the Nationals outfielder Bryce Harper, and the Cubs all offseason. But I really feel like this Cubs team doesn't need more bats. What they need is more pitching. They need to find more shutdown guys in the rotation, find more in the bullpen even. But the Cubs are done for. They don't need to do anything drastic. I think they're still in good shape for the NL Central for years to come. But it's always upsetting when you're knocked out of the postseason. But it seems to be even more upsetting when you're knocked out before you thought you were going, before the place you thought you would go to. So, another team I want to congratulate, the Los Angeles Dodgers, their 6th straight National League Western Division title. And the Dodgers are moving on as they beat the Colorado Rockies in the NL West title game. And the postseason round that I really want to focus on in the first round is going to be this rematch between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Of course, the Yankees moving on in the wild card game as they beat the Oakland A's 7-2. Oakland A's are done for. Aaron Judge hit a 2-run home run in the first inning, and the Yankees got rolling. And 7-2. Giancarlo Stanton also hit a home run for the Bronx Bombers. And we'll see how they do. Yankees Red Sox, they have their first meeting in October since 2004, the American League Championship Series, where everybody knows the story. The Boston Red Sox were down 3-0 to the New York Yankees and suddenly became the first team in the history of baseball to win 4 straight games to move on to the World Series, where they then went on to sweep the St. Louis Cardinals and the Red Sox brought home the first World Series title in 86 years, as the curse of the Bambino was then broken by the Boston Red Sox. Curse of the Bambino, which was started in 1918 when the owners of the Red Sox sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees, and the rest, as they say, is history. So, the postseason rankings at Major League Baseball so far. We have the Colorado Rockies taking on the NL Central champion Milwaukee Brewers. The Atlanta Braves will be taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Cleveland Indians will play the defending world champion Houston Astros. And, of course, New York and Boston, Yankees-Red Sox, baseball's best rivalry for the longest of time, will meet up in the American League Division Series. 4 great matchups in their own right. And going to make some predictions for the Division Series, and we'll see how that turns out. But I'm going to pick Boston to move on. I'm going to pick Houston to move on. I'm going to pick the Dodgers to move on. And I'm going to pick the Brew Crew to move on, the Milwaukee Brewers to move on against Colorado. Milwaukee has been playing red-hot baseball. Christian Yelich has been playing some really good baseball in his own right. And the Cubs simply lost fire at the end of it. But the Brew Crew look like they have a shot to have a deep run. Really, all these teams that are in have a shot to make deep runs this year. Will Houston repeat? Can LA make it back to the World Series? So many questions are about to be answered. This is why October baseball is the best time of the year for a baseball fan. And I cannot wait to see who will be hoisting the trophy, even if the Cubs will not be the team hoisting it again this year. But it's a great time of year. I still think Houston or Boston will probably take it in the American League for the World Series. So we are now at week 5 of the NFL season. With that, I'm going to make my predictions for who's going to win week 5 of the NFL season. We begin with the Indianapolis Colts at the New England Patriots. New England Patriots will be an overwhelming favorite to win this game, especially after the way they just upended Miami's undefeated season on Sunday. They're picking the Patriots to get the win. Tennessee Titans at the Buffalo Bills, picking Tennessee to get the win. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to get the win. New York Jets at the Denver Broncos, picking the Jets to get the win. Kansas City Chiefs at the Jacksonville Jaguars, and picking Kansas City to move on to 5-0 on the season. Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. I'm picking the Green Bay Packers to get the W. Baltimore at Cleveland, and I'm picking Baltimore to get the W. Carolina Panthers at the New York Giants, and I'm picking the Panthers to get the win. Miami Dolphins at the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm going with Cincinnati to get the win. Oakland Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers, and I'm picking the Chargers to get the win. San Francisco at Arizona, picking San Francisco to win. Philadelphia taking on Minnesota, picking the Eagles to get the win, even though they lost in overtime last week. And picking the Rams to move on to 5-0 against the Seattle Seahawks. And the New Orleans Saints at the Washington Redskins, picking New Orleans to get the win at home. And Dallas at Houston, a Texas-sized showdown, Sunday Night Football. And I'm picking the Cowboys to get the W. Picking Dallas to win 21-20 over the Texans. Should be a nail-biter. Should be a good game to watch.
Thanks for listening to the Power Zone Sports Podcast. Please like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter link will be down below. And I'll see you next time in the next podcast. Bye!